Welcome to Becoming Someone Who Loves. I'm Daniel Prok, and I am so excited that you're here with me because I'm going to take you on a journey to go from someone who might not love themselves or love themselves completely, and someone who might not be living in that great of a loving, peaceful, joyful life, and help you get to something that is exactly like that. Because a lot of folks are living, let's just say it, living in habitual fear, habitual anxiety, habitual doubt and worry, habitual lower vibrations that are restrictive. It's like clenching. And when we can go, expand and open our heart and expand more and expand more and condition ourselves to be what I believe is our original divine blueprint, the blueprint that God put in us. More of living in our soul and in our spirit and in our heart than in our body and in our mind and our emotions. When we go all the way back to our original cell of our body, let's take it one more step. Let's go beyond that to the thought and energy and the perfection that created the first cell of your body. You feel that? That space is pure divinity. It's you, your purest divinity, your God self, your soul. And within there, all is well. So let's get right into this because I want to be efficient and effective with all these videos. So this first exercise is very powerful and it just takes 2 minutes, but it's 2 minutes that can change your life forever. So when I first did this exercise, it's probably about 7 or 8 years ago now, I had learned about self-love and loving myself and been doing things to practice that. But I met a gentleman, he was a housemate actually, in Encinitas, California, and somewhere in our conversations, the self-love topic came up. And he gave me this exercise that I'll give to you right now. He said, Dan, just go look at yourself in the mirror and just say, I love you. I love you. Stare deep into your own eyes and say, I love you. And do it for 2 minutes. So I went and did the exercise. I saw him a few days later. He said, how did it go? And I said, man, I didn't know I had all that stuff in me. I didn't know if it was okay to love myself. I didn't know, it felt weird. Felt like I was being almost like dishonest or unfaithful to God to love myself. All these things were coming up inside of myself. And he said, well, did you do it for 2 minutes? And I said, I probably did it for like 15, 20 seconds. And he said, do it again for 2 minutes. Really loosen up any of the discordant energy in you that would ever have you think that you're not supposed to love yourself or not a loving or not a lovable type of person. So here's the exercise for you. Go look at yourself in the mirror, look deep into your own eyes, and say, I love you. I love you. I love you. And even try to smile at yourself and say, I love you. And try to say it with your heart, with your soul, with your spirit. Say, I love you. We're bypassing the conditioning that has happened to our minds, our mental construct that would have us believe that we aren't a loving, lovable, loved person and being. We're bypassing that. So from your soul, from your heart, from the deepest part of your consciousness, I love you. I love you. Whatever gets stirred up, let it stir up. It's okay. If you cry, it's okay, because I cried the first time. If you laugh, well, whatever it is, let it come up. Let it come out. Sit in it. It's okay. And then we're just going to flush it down the toilet, you know? We're just going to dissolve that, because that is conditioned behavior or conditioned thinking or conditioned beliefs, conditioned energy that has happened in the world, but this is the reconditioning that's happening throughout society and throughout this whole earth, taking us into the most beautiful place that we could ever live, which is a loving, lovable, amazing, glorious world and a wonderful, loving life for you. So do this exercise for 2 minutes. This is the first video, and after you get done with this, drink quite a bit of water. You might want to go for a walk. You might want to spend some time in nature just to cleanse it all out. You may want to revisit this exercise periodically, maybe every week or every month for several months, just to check in, see where you're at. Because you want to get to a place where you can look yourself in the eye and say, I love you. I love you. And feel the love for yourself. Looking at yourself deep into your own eyes. I love you. I love you. I love you. This is the way that God loves you. Seeing ourselves the way that God sees us. Loving ourselves the way God loves us. You're a beautiful, glorious, magnificent being. That is something of knowing. You know that. It's beyond believing or thinking or feeling it. It's knowing that you are loving, lovable, and you are someone who loves. That's where we're headed with this video series. Glad you watched this first video. Stay tuned for the next one as you become someone who loves. I'll see you in the next video. Get the full course now at danielprok.thinkific.com.